Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage Season 2, Episode 9 works so well because it starts with a problem that feels painfully ordinary and ends in a way that is anything but. That contrast is exactly why the episode sticks. At its core, the story is about pressure, financial pressure, emotional pressure, and the quiet panic that comes with realizing adulthood isn't just hard, it's relentless. Almost anyone watching can recognize that feeling, especially Georgie, who is clearly trying to hold everything together while pretending he isn't cracking under the weight. The episode's central conflict is refreshingly relatable. Georgie is overwhelmed by responsibility in a way that feels very real for someone his age. He's running a business he barely understands, trying to be a good husband, and still grieving his father in ways he doesn't know how to talk about. None of this is exaggerated for sitcom effect at first. It's subtle, grounded, and uncomfortable. Mandy, meanwhile, is stretched thin too, caught between her career ambitions and the reality of a marriage that demands more compromise than she expected. Their disconnect doesn't come from lack of love, but from exhaustion. What makes this episode hit harder than others is how quietly it builds. There's no immediate explosion. Instead, the tension creeps in through small moments, Georgie brushing things off, Mandy trying to stay supportive while clearly frustrated, and both of them avoiding the one conversation they actually need to have. It feels like watching two people circle a problem they're scared to name. That slow burn is what makes the final act feel so wild by comparison. When the episode pivots into its chaotic final stretch, it almost feels like a pressure valve bursting. The absurdity doesn't come out of nowhere. It's the emotional result of everything that's been simmering. Georgie's choices in the last act are impulsive and messy, but they make sense given how cornered he feels. He's not being reckless for fun. He's desperate to prove he's in control, even if that control is an illusion. The brilliance of the episode is that it doesn't let Georgie off the hook just because his stress is understandable. The final act is crazy, yes, but it's also consequences-driven. His actions ripple outward, affecting Mandy and reinforcing the idea that avoidance only creates bigger problems. The humor in those moments lands because it's grounded in emotional truth, not because the show suddenly turns cartoonish. Mandy's role in the episode is equally important. She isn't portrayed as unreasonable or nagging, which would have been the easy route. Instead, she's patient until she can't be anymore. Her frustration feels earned. By the time the episode spirals, you understand exactly why she reacts the way she does. That balance keeps the story from becoming one-sided and makes the marital conflict feel authentic. What really elevates Episode 9 is how it mirrors real-life relationship patterns. Many couples don't break down over huge betrayals or dramatic events. They unravel over stress, silence, and unspoken fear. The episode captures that dynamic with surprising honesty, even as it leans into a heightened final act. It's messy because real life is messy, especially when people are young and still learning how to communicate. The ending doesn't provide neat closure, and that's a good thing. Instead of solving the problem, it exposes it more clearly. Georgie's struggles aren't over. Mandy's doubts haven't vanished, and their marriage still feels fragile. The crazy final act isn't a reset button. It's a warning sign. That choice makes the episode feel meaningful rather than disposable. Season 2, Episode 9 ultimately succeeds because it trusts the audience to handle complexity. It gives us a problem we recognize, feeling overwhelmed and unsupported, and then pushes it to an extreme to show what happens when those feelings are ignored. The result is an episode that's funny, stressful, and oddly comforting all at once, because it reminds us that struggling doesn't make Georgie and Mandy failures. It just makes them human.